Hi everybody, it's Mr.Manthey, and I am going to take you through a quick lesson, one of the ones that I sent home for week number 3 that was for my kindergartners, first graders, and second graders. So in the assignment, the first step is to choose a letter of the alphabet, any alphabet letter, and to draw it nice and big on your paper. So I'm going to start with the letter S. Okay, nice and big letter S, and then the next step is to think of an animal that starts with the letter S. So since this is the first one, I'll do an easy one, and I'll say snakes. Snakes start with S. So now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to draw around my letter S to make a snake. So I'm going to start up at the top of the S with my snake's head. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to add my snake eyeball. Snakes don't have a circle in their eyeball, they actually have like a little slit that is almost like a curved line. So there's my snake eyeball. I'm going to draw around the S to make the snake head. And then we have the two most important parts of the snake, which are the teeth, the fangs, 1 and 2, and then the hissing tongue that goes like tss. So there's my forked tongue. Alright, now the snake is pretty easy because they are kind of like the shape of an S, so I just go down and around, follow my letter, down and around, and snakes have all different kinds of tails and colors. I'm going to make mine a rattlesnake. So on the end of its tail I'll have to add some circles, and these are like the snake's rattle, okay, that shakes and makes noise when you get too close. Now you can choose between markers or crayons or even colored pencils if you have them in order to fill in your snake however you want. I'm going to go with some crayons. I'm going to start off with green. Some snakes are all one color. Some snakes have patterns, so some snakes are striped, some have spots, some have diamonds on them, like a diamond back. My snake is going to have some green stripes, and I'll probably choose another color to go in between them. Alright. Good amount of green on there. And then I'll choose my second color. I'll say, you know what, it's my snake, so I can make it whatever I want. I don't think I've ever seen a blue snake, but I want a blue snake. And if you want your colors to blend together with crayons, you can just go right on top of each other, and you'll see in between my green and my blue I have a greenish blue. Get my snake filled in. I'm going to leave the rattle alone. I'm going to make that a different color. And then I should probably make my snake's head green. So I'll go back to my green real quick. And there's my snake. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some, like a darker greenish brown, and fill in his rattle. Alright? So, even from far away, we can tell that this is two things. 1, the letter S, and 2, snake. And that's just the goal of this project, is to get you thinking about your letters, but not just to be writing your letters over and over again, to also think about how we can creatively turn our letters into drawings. I even gave him a little red tongue. Alright, for this next one, I'm going to move over to the right side of my paper. I'm going to try a little bit harder of a letter, okay? So, we've got a W. Now, a couple animals start with W. A walrus. How about a whale? I'll go with a whale for this one. Now, this doesn't really look like a whale, so I'm going to have to get creative. I know I've got two ends of my whale. We got the big head, it's going to have the blowhole, and then I'm going to have my tail. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start on my tail side, and I'm going to add a big tail over here. I'm going to have my tail come down, and then this is going to be my whale's body over here. And like I said in the write-up for the project, your whale or your animals might not end up looking totally like the letter, and that's okay. The drawing part, at least as far as I'm concerned, the drawing part is more important. It almost looks more like a dolphin. It's not bad enough. No, it's not a whale without a blowhole, so I'm going to add that blowhole up top that's blowing out that water mist and give him a little tiny eye. So that's kind of like my whale. He looks like he's been crammed into too small of a space, but a whale nonetheless. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in some color. You know, a lot of whales will be blue, like a really dark grayish blue up top, and then on the underside they will be kind of white. And some whales are so big that they have animals that latch onto their bottom side and live just off of them, use them like a home, and those are like barnacles. So if you ever see the underbelly of a whale and it's got all those little dots on it that almost look like coral or like rocks, those are different sea creatures that just drift along and then attach onto a whale and live off of it. So I'm going through this pretty fast. You guys can take more time with it. Alright. And then I might give it a couple dark lines under its mouth. That kind of makes it look a little less like a dolphin, a little more like a whale. And I'll outline my blowhole mist. Alright. And there you are. Now, if you want to make your animal drawing stand out from further away, you can take a marker and you can go over the outline of them. So I'll just quickly outline my snake. And basically that black outline will catch the eye, grab your attention from further away. So even from across the room, it'll be a lot easier to see, like, oh, that's a drawing of a snake. That's a drawing of the letter S. Alright. Mr. Manthey's had too much coffee today. My hand is all shaky. There you go. And just a quick one for the whale. Now, I just chose the S and the W because I wanted to have one that was easy and then one that was a little more challenging. You can choose ones that are your initials. So my first name begins with the letter N, so I could have done N and M for my initials, or I could have done like O and H for Ohio, or something like that. You can make the letters ones that matter to you, or you can just choose them whichever letters you want. You could also choose your two favorite animals. So if I had done M, I probably would have done a manatee, because manatees are my favorite animals. Alright? That's it, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Have fun. And like I said, don't be too worried if your ends up like more like my whale and it's not so easy to see what the letter was.